2 minutes till broadcast. One minute till broadcast.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome into it. Hey, we got a lot to talk about today. It is going to be a blast. Plenty to cover for sure. Policy going on. How's the economy doing today? Also, bottom of the hour, we're going to have Michael Johnson on the program with the Slavic Gospel Association. We will talk about the ongoing battle between Russia and Ukraine, the conflict there, and what we can do during the holiday season, plus the conversation between Candace Owens, Erica Kirk, and Turning Point USA. What the heck's going on all there? We'll try and get to all of it and more. Make sure to like it out, share it out, leave that comment, break the algorithm. Let's do this thing on a post-Monday celebration. Hang tight.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin transmission.
Broadcasting from the heart of the nation, the next generation in conservative talk radio. This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Why, yes, it is. What is up, my friends? Welcome into it. It is your post-Monday celebration. It is the Voice of Reason. I am Andy Hooser. Welcome aboard. You are counting down the days until the holiday creeps on closer. Less than a week away, or a week away until, I guess, Christmas, but less than a week until the final full work week of 2025. Who's excited about that one? I know you are. And welcome into the program. So much to cover, so little time to do it. Broadcasting out of the heart of the nation in Wichita, Kansas on our flagship radio station. We are all over the country. So many great radio stations doing our thing.
Do it live!
Like we do every single day here on this program. Michael Johnson will be joining us at the bottom of the hour. He is the president and founder of the Slavic Gospel Association. We will get the latest out of Russia and Ukraine, the ongoing peace deals, the ceasefire potential, and the state of Ukrainians right now. Apparently, the Russians have been focusing a lot of their fire on the power lines and the power sources for the nation of Ukraine. So a lot of people are living right now in some brown and blackout areas because, well, they don't have any power. They've been blown up. So that being said, what's the latest? We'll get to some of that here in just a little bit. We'll get the, is there any chance for a ceasefire or a ceasefire or a peace deal or anything over in Russia and Ukraine? So we'll have that conversation coming up at the bottom of the hour. I've been trying to rack my brain, and I think I figured it out. The light bulb kicked on just a little while ago. I have been racking my brain on why we're hearing the certain rhetoric that we've been hearing from a certain individual. And who might we be talking about? We're talking about going back down to Australia for just a moment.
What's trending today?
What do I mean by that is if you've not been following after the whole shooting down in Australia at Bondi Beach in Sydney and the terrorist attack that happened with the terrorists that were trying to shoot at Jews for the Hanukkah celebration, the Prime Minister has spoken. And he's given an update on what's going on. He's given an update on the investigation that's happening and why it happened in the first place, where now they're calling for further gun control. They're calling for further investigation on radicalism. They're calling on further whatever, fill-in-the-blank censorship because, well, progressive governments, that's just what they do. And they're really good at it. So that's what we have to deal with, unfortunately. But the Prime Minister made a statement, and I didn't quite understand what he was trying to say. But now it makes sense. This is what he had to say earlier.
We take ASIO's advice very seriously. We work closely with them. We receive regular updates as well. The Director General of Asia has warned about a range of threats, be it anti-Semitism, the rise of right-wing extremist groups as well.
Whoa.
And we continue to work closely with our security agencies.
Hold on. Did you catch that? I think I caught it. Did you catch it? Pretty sure. The Prime Minister, who is now trying to investigate anti-Semitism in the nation of Australia, is now saying that they are cracking down on anti-Semitism and right-wing extremism.
Be it anti-Semitism, the rise of right-wing extremist groups as well.
Hold on. I could be wrong here. Please correct me. Wait a second. If you're anti-Semitic and you're a radical jihadist or an Islamist radical that doesn't like Jewish individuals, and you open fire in a place with some of the most stringent gun laws going after the Jewish population, and you shoot them as a Islamo-fascist radical that wants to kill Jews, does that make you a right-wing radical? It does not. But then the light bulb kicked on, and it made so much sense because I was trying to rack my brain. How have we in society, not just the United States, but around the world, how in society have we gotten so topsy-turvy about how the world actually works? And when we hear about ideologies that are thrown out there, Donald Trump's a Nazi and a fascist and an authoritarian and a right-winger and all this other garbage that we hear all the time. And then we go down to Australia with the shrimp on the bobby, and we're going to talk about how right-wing radicalism, right-wing extremism is going to lead to anti-Semitism with the shooting that we saw from a radical Muslim individual. And the woke progressive of the Prime Minister down there, it made sense. And you know how it makes sense? They're south of the equator. They're in the southern hemisphere. Andy, what does that matter? Well, that matters because everything's opposite down there, right? I mean, we have right now, we're going into wintertime. They're going into summer. Their water in their toilet flushes and spins the other direction. It's south of the border, which means everything is backwards. Left is right. Right is left. Up is down, down is up, and right-wing radicalism actually means left-wing radicalism. And when you read it through that lens, totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. And as an individual that is very simple-minded, I have to go under that assumption because I would, other than that, have to assume that he's a complete idiot and doesn't know right-wing radicalism from left-wing radicalism or ideology that actually hates people based on identity division, religious intolerance, and everything else that the woke left has done that progressives and radical Islamos actually get along with very well. That's the only other explanation I can think of, that because it's down below the equator, it's the southern hemisphere of the globe, therefore everything's backwards, so it's opposite day in Australia, and therefore when he talks about right-wing radicalism, he's actually talking about left-wing progressives that are hating Jews because anti-Semitism's coming from the left side of the aisle. That is that. We're going to have to go with that one because I have no other explanation. All right, we got a lot to talk about today.
What's trending today?
I have a question for you. We're going into the holidays. Maybe you're wrapping up your holiday shopping. Maybe you haven't even started your holiday shopping yet. And if that's the case, you're about to get an eye-opener on what the economy's doing. Is it working? Is it not? Is the economy getting better? Vice President J.D. Vance, President Trump making their tour around the country talking about the economy and saying that we are entering into the golden age of America in 2026 is going to be a huge and big league.
And I think we're going to make it big league
type of year, as J.D. Vance has recently said that right now we have an A+++.
President Trump last week gave his economy a grade of A+++++. What grade would you give the economy today?
A++++. Look, I
Okay. All right. They get really excited. They're really pumped up to watch J.D. Vance. And by the way, J.D. Vance, so smooth. There's a new announcement that Marco Rubio has announced that if J.D. Vance runs on a 2028 presidential ticket, Marco Rubio will not be running because he does not want to deter and divide this MAGA movement. J.D. Vance is young. He is smooth. He knows how to relate to people. He knows how to be fun. He knows how to be relatable. This guy's a rock star, and I'm super excited about it. But nonetheless, that's another conversation for another time. The economy going into an A+++, according to the Trump administration. Is that really true? Well, the media obviously is trying to scare us still that inflation's still really bad, even though they ignored the 30% inflation over the past 4-year period. They try to say that it's way too expensive to go holiday shopping this year. Although we had the largest Black Friday of $12 billion being spent in a single weekend, and they say, well, it was less product. Yeah, but people are still spending the money. And even if they're spending more money for less product, they're still spending the money, because if it wasn't worth it, we wouldn't be spending the money. So in my book, that's still a good sign at the fact that gas prices are at a record 4-year low right now, under $3 a gallon, that we haven't seen since the last Trump administration. Inflation is not growing at a 3 to 4% on a month-to-month basis. So I would say overall, we're doing well. But we have better news from that as well. And this news comes from Caroline Leavitt releasing a statement talking about the job growth. Now that the government's back open, we can actually track month-to-month job growth overall. And we have 2 bits of good news. Number one, we have overall, over a 12-month period, according to economist E.J. Antoni and a statement from Caroline Leavitt, press secretary for the White House, they released a statement that, number one, bit of good news, that job numbers total for the past 12 months, and Donald Trump really responsible for, I don't know, the last, let's say, 10 months of that 12 months, that overall for the past 12 months, we've seen an increase of jobs of 2.6 million jobs over a 12-month period. And of those jobs, all of them have been American naturalized or American citizen growth in job, and a decrease in dependence on foreign workers in the nation. That is really good news. The other piece of good news is, according to Caroline Leavitt, 100% of the job growth under the Trump administration for the past year has been private sector, not public sector. That is another, I don't know if you understand the significance there. If you don't understand the significance of why that's really important, we're trying to limit the size of federal government. We're trying to limit the size of public sector job growth, meaning being paid for by your taxpayer money, redistribution of wealth, and actually focus on private sector jobs. 100% of jobs that have been gained over the past year, 2.6 million jobs, a transition from public sector to private sector. Very good news. At the same time, according to The Economist, they say that native-born Americans with jobs are up 2.6 million overall. The foreign-born workers, meaning people coming in with work visas, temporary jobs, we bust people in, illegal aliens coming in, that has actually seen a decline for the first time in, well, ever, in the foreign-born that are coming here for temporary jobs. Overall, between those two, I would say that is probably some of the best news in the economy we can get. And they can throw out inflation, they can throw out the scare of tariffs, they can throw out the trade deals, they can say that we're going to run short on the shopping with the stuff in the big box stores like Walmart and Target and everything coming in from overseas. I haven't quite heard that yet, even with our $12 billion Black Friday weekend that we had just a few weeks ago. Haven't seen that yet. Haven't heard any news about that. Maybe it's true. You can reach out and let me know if that's the case. But this is really good news. And it's only going to get better, because now, in 2 weeks from now at the end of the year for 2026, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. We have way new opportunities to invest. We have way new businesses that are coming into the country, manufacturing that's being invested in, new business and individual or industry that's coming to the United States. All of this is setting us up for what Donald Trump has really said is the golden age of America. So I would say we should probably celebrate that.
We did it! We did it! We did it! Yay!
And pat ourselves on the back. So we may not see it yet, that transition's still happening, but it is good news. And why does it matter? Because as a millennial myself, the younger generation, even behind me, the ones coming into the workforce, it really needs to start focusing, meaning the dialogue, the conversation, the agenda, the platforms of the political parties, both of them, need to start focusing on what the next generation needs. Not what they want, but what they need. And what they need is a stability in education. What they need is a stability in the workforce, a stability in the real estate and housing market to where they can have affordable living, which we're already apparently, I had seen a headline today on, I believe, Fox News, maybe it was Drudge Report, I don't remember, but they said that actually the affordability of housing and cost of living is coming down with the millions of people that have been either deported or self-deported, opening up real estate in the country, all over the country, allowing for property to actually value to come back down a bit more and be a bit more affordable, with the crazy terms that is actually affordability, which is right now the talking point and the rhetoric from the other side of the aisle.
And I gotta say, I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised by when the Democrats talk all the time about affordability. Democrats say, you know, things aren't affordable. This isn't affordable. This has gotten more expensive. Drugs have gotten more expensive. Housing's gotten more expensive. And you know what? They're right, and it was because of them.
It's what's happening for the past 4 years, and now all of a sudden, it's a problem. We can't afford to live. We can't afford groceries. We can't afford real estate. Donald Trump, you've been in office for 10 months. How come it's all your fault? It's what we've heard. Now, again, I laid out the case on why I think the economy is doing well. I'm always the eternal optimist, so I always see things through a positive lens and an optimistic lens. But at the end of the day, I think most people are starting to see that as well. And if we do see, and this is a good message for Republicans, I really hope, this is me helping you, help me help you, Republicans. I really hope that coming into midterm elections for 2026, we start seeing this good news and we start piggybacking on that and we make this a Ronald Reagan-esque re-election type fashion where we don't have to go negative against the radical Democrat socialist nut jobs. We talk about how great the economy in the world is going right now because of what we're able to do.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SHARP25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SHARP25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SHARP25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code SHARP25.
When America builds, the world follows. Our energy powered the 20th century. We've set the standard for generations, and we never waited for permission. But now, we're being held back. Outdated rules, endless delays. Without permitting reform, Washington's red tape is slowing us down while other nations race ahead. It doesn't have to be this way. We can clear the way for energy that's affordable, reliable, and built right here. Because what's built here is felt here. Lower costs, more jobs, stronger communities. That's what permitting reform makes possible. Energy didn't just shape our country, it powered the American dream. And with our innovation, we can lead the 21st century. Congress has a choice. Build America's energy future or risk falling behind. Tell Congress, pass permitting reform now.
What fuels the freedom to dream bigger? How did two guys in a cramped California garage reimagine the phone and put the power of the universe at our fingertips? At Americans for Prosperity, we believe greatness can happen anywhere. We just need freedom and the opportunity to make it real. But today, with a rigid system stifling progress, limiting creativity, and holding us back. That's why at AFP, we offer solutions that tackle the most critical challenges facing our country, so there's nothing standing in the way of America's next breakthrough. Because what we build today doesn't just shape the future, it defines it. How will you be defined? Take your first step today with Americans for Prosperity.
When you choose Patriot Mobile, you're not just picking a wireless provider. You're choosing a company that shares your values. It's easy to switch, and you can keep your number, your phone, and most importantly, your values. With Patriot Mobile, you get the power of nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. That means wherever life takes you, we've got you covered on the same reliable networks you already know and trust. And when you need us, we're here for you right here at home. Our customer service is 100% US-based because we believe that support should come from people who understand you and your values. At Patriot Mobile, you're not just another call, you're a priority. In today's world, where you spend your money matters more than ever, every dollar is a vote for the kind of future you want to build. Join the thousands of Americans making a difference with every call, every text, and every connection. Choose a company that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Switch today and get 1 month of service absolutely free by going to patriotmobile.com/reason.
When reason meets radio. This is the voice of reason with Andy Hooser.
Yeah, welcome back into the program. Great to have you today for a post-Monday celebration, getting you set for the holiday season. That is just, well, we're in the season. The holiday itself right around the corner as we move through trying to cover all the great news that's going on. The golden age of America, is it really happening? I'd love to get your thoughts on it. If you do want to reach out to the show, by the way, you're always welcome to do so at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com. You can also just send us that same message directly from our website, which is HooserReason.com, HOOSER Reason.com, and let us know your thoughts. Anything that you agree or disagree with, I get them all. So thank you. You can always love us or hate us. I don't I don't really care one way or the other, but I would like to get your thoughts on that. The golden age right around the corner. Is it the way the economy's going? It seems like people are still turning out to rallies. They're still supporting President Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and once we see the full-fledged economy take hold of the vision that Donald Trump had, is it going to be working? Is it going to be helping? We shall see. Want to tell you about my friends over at J&S Smoked Snacks. Hey, we have an opportunity to get some snacks going into the end of the year. If you're looking for your New Year's resolutions, getting back in shape already, which is on the back of your mind after you indulge for the holiday season, or you just want a good snack, doesn't really matter. J&S Smoked Snacks has you. Why? Because it is not overly processed stuff. It's not your average beef jerky from the gas station. It's not overly processed. It doesn't have a lot of preservatives in it. It doesn't have a lot of chemicals in it. You don't even know whether the meat's actually real or not. You don't have to worry about that with J&S Smoked Snacks. It's real meat. It's real flavorful, and it's really, really good. It's made from their own seasoning. You can even buy the packs of seasoning directly from them as well. They have a plethora of new flavors for their beef jerky, and it's really, really good. And for my listeners alone, you can go to jssmokedsnacks.com, jssmokesnacks.com. You can choose any 4 bags of beef jerky that you want. Perfect for yourself, perfect for stocking stuffers, whatever you want to use it for. Any 4 flavors, any types that you want for $47.45 if you use the promo code REASON. That's jssmokesnacks.com and use the promo code REASON. All right, what direction do we go here? Because there's a few different issues. As we look at the next generation, we went into the break talking about this generational difference, the priorities for the next generation. And there are policy changes that are about to happen. I really hope that they happen. And then there's the content and what people are paying attention to. With the next generation's actually focusing on the podcasters, the influencers, the social media-ites, the talk radio hosts. Who are they following? Who are they paying attention to? Because right now it seems like we're pretty divided on that front as well. J.D. Vance having some fun at that rally talking about believing in conspiracies.
Sometimes I am a conspiracy theorist, but I only believe in the conspiracy theories that are true. And by the way, Susie and I have joked in private and in public about that for a long time. For example, I believed in the crazy conspiracy theory back in 2020 that it was stupid to mask 3-year-olds at the height of the COVID pandemic, that we should actually let them develop some language skills.
Crazy.
You know, I believed in this crazy conspiracy theory that the media and the government were covering up the fact that Joe Biden was clearly unable to do the job.
Yeah, there were a lot of conspiracy theories that were come to be true when they said, no, none of that would ever happen. Unfortunately, now, people that just spread conspiracies with no basis whatsoever are gaining a lot of the traction. Did you see, apparently, and I have not listened to it because, I don't know, it just happened recently, but Candace Owens has now done her show today, breaking down the 4.5-hour-long conversation with Erica Kirk they had yesterday. Now, I thought when Turning Point USA had invited her to come on the show yesterday on the 15th, she said no because she was busy and wasn't going to do it. Then all of a sudden she became available and met for 4.5 hours with Erica Kirk and then missed her show like she said she wasn't going to do, which is why she turned down the invite originally from Turning Point USA, and then made a video last night that said something about along the lines of, yes, I'm still alive, nothing happened to me, and we covered a lot of ground and we had a great conversation to move things in the right direction. I didn't realize Turning Point USA had to report to Candace Owens or the decisions they make or what they do, that she has to give the final approval. So I found that kind of weird, and I'm really sad that people continue to follow this type of National Enquirer content.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Hey, it's Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. Fighting for conservative principles seems more difficult all the time. The progressive left finds new and creative ways to limit freedom, abuse power, and trample the Constitution each and every day. That's why we need the knowledge, resources, and common sense to push back. And that's where we can help. Head to our website at HooserReason.com. There you can find our latest blog discussing topical issues of the day. Let us know your thoughts on current events with different surveys and chat rooms. And keep track of what I might be doing or where I may be speaking. Plus, when you head to the website, you can always get great deals and different offers from all of our great radio partners. Finally, if you want more of the show, you can find our podcasts with all of our great episodes and your favorite guests. And make sure to check out the latest Voice of Reason infomercials and maybe some other special content. And it's all because of you being part of the Hoosier-holic family. Let's continue to fight for conservative common sense principles together by going to HooserReason.com. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do. So, programming note, video feed. We do have the video feed up, although there is no video to it. We are still working on some upgrades of equipment, but hey, we are getting there. So if you have that. Also, we do have the audio feed live right on our website at HooserReason.com. You can go and check that out and appreciate it when you do. If you miss any of the show, you can always go back to the podcast and check out the podcast on any of your favorite podcasting sites by just typing in The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser. I am so excited to announce, we always get towards the end of the year and we announce kind of the recap of the year and where we landed, what our goals are for the show for the next year, so on and so forth. We've already beat our downloads from 2024. Like, we've already surpassed them well beyond like a month ago, so we've been growing. That's awesome. Thank you for that. We love you to death. We have way more number of radio affiliates across the country, with more coming on early January, beginning, I believe, the first week of January. So we have a few more that we're ready to announce there. So get ready for that. So yeah, it's been a great year, and we're looking forward to a heck of a lot more of that. All right, plenty to get to today. Let's shift gears just a bit.
What's trending today?
I know I wrapped up that last segment pretty quick about Candace Owens, Turning Point USA. There's really not much more to say about it. I am really frustrated that this has divided the party and the movement as it has. We're now following people with baseless claims and in a National Enquirer type of mindset with just these false accusations, and then think that they're relatively important, or else they're going to continue to spread it. It's unfortunate. I don't like it. Turning Point USA and Erica Kirk do not need to report to Candace Owens about what they're doing and what's going on. That's not how this works, and unfortunately, she's made it all about her. Look, I mean, do we need to answer some questions? Sure, but I don't know why she's had to butt herself in the middle of it. Very strange. And that's all I really have to say about the issue. But we'll see more. Obviously, she did an episode today on her podcast talking about the 4.5-hour-long conversation that her and Erica Kirk had yesterday, when she was conveniently unavailable yesterday, a couple weeks ago, when that was supposed to be the date of her going on Turning Point USA and actually having that conversation publicly. So ironic how that one ended up changing, right? Yeah. All right, let's shift gears. We are following some of the stuff foreign-based. The conflict's going on between Russia and Ukraine, and is it getting any better? What's going on right there? The last we've heard from the Trump administration, we have people working in both countries with Ukraine, with Russia, trying to come to a ceasefire and some type of peace deal, ideally before the end of the year. Donald Trump wanted it before Thanksgiving. That didn't happen. Are we moving in the right direction, and what's the latest in that conversation? That's where we go to our next guest here on the program. Really happy to have on from the Slavic Gospel Association, back on the show, Mr. Michael Johnson. Michael, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on the show. Before we get into some of the details, it's holiday season, what we can do to help out individuals. What's the latest here? Are you optimistic we're going to get any type of peace deal anytime soon between the two countries?
No. I'm not.
No.
Yeah, this has been going on for a long time, and there's been a lot of false starts. I think Vladimir Putin is intent on keeping the war going. Obviously, the Russians are, by nature, they're expansionists, and I think he hopes that he can prevail in Ukraine so that he can expand his territories, if you will, to some of the Eastern European countries like Moldova and Poland. And obviously, the West is doing everything it can to prevent that from happening. I flew into Warsaw not too long ago, and I just looked out, past the airport, and there was just a sea of U.S. troops there in Poland to defend its sovereignty. So I think this is going to go on for a while.
It's really unfortunate. I don't know where the end's going to be every time that Vladimir Putin, and that's the hard part. I mean, Vladimir Putin, you can't trust him. He says that he's willing for a peace deal. He's going to start withdrawing troops, or he's going to back off a little bit, and everybody's excited about it. And then he turns around and ends up bombing an apartment complex or something, which is unfortunate. Yeah. And nothing's been done yet. So I don't know if we're going to see an escalation or a de-escalation at some point here, but this has been going on for so long now. It's so muddied. I don't know where we go from here, Michael. It's just unfortunate all around.
Yeah, that's kind of the feeling over there as well on both sides of the conflict. Obviously, we do a lot of work in Russia as well as in Ukraine, and we support the churches as they reach out and meet the needs of the people in their communities. So.
Yeah.
And as long as we can get funds in, which we're able to, we can continue to grow the ministry. It's there's just this sort of a malaise there now about the war. People aren't really optimistic that it's going to end, and in the meantime, sons and fathers and grandfathers. I mean, the men are being killed. And it's very difficult on both sides on the families.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. Let's talk about the church side of things, the religious aspect to this. We've had other guests on the program, and I think you and I have talked about this in the past as well, about the state of Russia and their claim to all of this being a religious battle. And in fact, a couple of years ago when this first started, I remember for the first time in a long time, if not ever, Vladimir Putin held this big public address, and he went to the stadium, and they had the crowds, full in this entire stadium, and he said that God was telling him to reclaim Ukraine, and that's why he was doing what he's doing. And they claimed that it's the Russian church. They claimed that it's so tight with the religious aspect for this of why they're doing what they do and why they do in general what they do as a government. Is that true? Is Russia really as religious as what they say?
I would say it's an interesting question. Orthodox Christianity was adopted as the national religion back in the 10th century, and for many, many years, and since then, it's been considered the national religion. And that would apply to Ukraine as well as Russia as well. There's the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, there's the Russian Orthodox Church. And they're sort of separated now, but they share a common lineage. I mean, our focus in our religious activity is on the evangelical side. Yeah. And when the wall came down, Billy Graham went over to Russia and those countries and preached, and many people repented and came to faith in Christ, and that particular movement continues to grow. And so the group of churches that we're connected to, the churches that we serve, would be considered the Baptist churches. They were established in the early 1800s by German Mennonite missionaries that came into Ukraine and Georgia, evangelized the peasant populations, and that particular movement took hold, grew during the 1800s. There was a revival. And then in the early 20th century, when the persecution started, they were persecuted. Their pastors were killed, the leaders were killed, and they had to endure many, many years of the dark years, if you will.
Sure.
But when the country opened up, the churches were strong. Through many years of persecution, they were strengthened. And that particular segment of the religious population in those countries continues to grow, and there is a bit of revival taking place. And right now in Ukraine, in the midst of the war, because of the acts of mercy and goodwill that the churches have demonstrated in the way that they're ministering to people who are suffering from the war, there's a bit of a revival taking place right now. And so the churches are growing. And the majority of the people in those churches in Ukraine are either new Christians or new members in the churches. And so God continues to bless the growth of the church during this difficult time, but that doesn't mean it's not difficult in the entire country.
Yeah. Well, there is, it is good news, I guess, in that sense. There's always, light in that dark kind of situation, so that is good news with the way the churches have been able to actually operate during this crazy time. Right now, with the situation, with the state of affairs, the way things are right now, what are you guys working on, and what has been kind of your focus as of late?
Well, we continue to do what we've always done, and our strategy is basically to serve the churches of the former Soviet Union to respond to their first priority, which is sound theological training. So we sponsor some of the largest seminaries and Bible institutes to train pastors before they're sent out to plant churches or strengthen their existing churches. Well, we also sponsor hundreds of church planters and pastors that are sent out into previously unreached towns and villages to preach the gospel and lead people to Christ. And then we equip them with resources and programs, or orphan ministries, humanitarian aid distribution ministries, basically what they need to meet the needs of people, both in word and deed. And so in Ukraine right now, in the midst of the war, there's a lot of people that have been negatively impacted by this. So the need for compassion ministry is significant, and we have people all throughout Ukraine. We're connected to roughly 2,800 churches spread out throughout Ukraine, where we can provide resources, food, humanitarian aid, generators to the churches, so that people, when they're in their homes and the power is is turned off as a result of these bombs and missiles that are coming in.
Yeah.
They can come to the churches, get warm, get food, get fellowship. It's sort of a place of respite, and we call these churches Centers of Heat and Hope because that's the name of the campaign that we have. So basically, it's our Heat and Hope campaign that has really been very effective in helping these people during this really difficult time because of the relationships that we have with those churches.
Yeah, I love that. And it's really unfortunate that we even have to worry about this type of thing in today's age. You would think with all the quote-unquote global governments, the United Nations, the humanitarian laws that we're supposed to have, that during a time of conflict and war, you're not supposed to be blowing up apartment complexes and harming the average civilian like that. But yet here we are with Russia that continues to do it each and every day. And I can only imagine, Michael, that the longer this conflict goes on, these situations are just getting worse because I can only imagine how hard it is to actually get a lot of these resources into that area. Hang on the line. It's Michael Johnson with the Slavic Gospel Association. I want to continue this conversation when we come back and talk about some of the state of affairs, where Ukraine is right now, and during the holiday season. Can we help out? Can we do something? Whether you agree with the conflict, what side of it you stand on doesn't really matter. The humanitarian aspect is really wild. And the rumor that we've heard about the child trafficking, children just going missing, which is just devastating. I mean, I don't even know what to think about something like that. The fact that it's happening right now as we speak when we're supposed to be living in, I don't know, the 21st century. We got lots more to get to. Stay right here.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Big government is broken. Every year, politicians fail to pass a budget as the deficit continues to grow. Every month, unelected bureaucrats pile on rules no one voted for, strangling our economy. And every day, DC's broken system gets in the way of the American dream. Washington isn't working, and the people pay the price. At Americans for Prosperity, we believe it's time to fix the system. Now, join the movement to make government work.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're gonna be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SHARP25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SHARP25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SHARP25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code SHARP25.
Oh, hey, sorry, I was just enjoying one of my snacks during the break. You know, it's hard to find good quality snacks without all the unhealthy additives, but I'm here to tell you that problem is over. It's time to enjoy J&S Smoked Snacks. Real cuts of beef, real wood smoke, and real flavor that's crafted in small batches to keep every bag fresh. And with numerous different flavors, you'll never get enough. This is not your average gas station jerky. It's J&S Smoked Snacks. Find them online at jssmokedsnacks.com and tell them I sent you.
What fuels the freedom to dream bigger? Our country's greatest breakthroughs were born from bold ideas and the ability to take one small step forward. At Americans for Prosperity, freedom and opportunity find their defenders. Because our country's next giant leap is just around the corner. Are you ready to step up?
Hey, the live show may be almost over today, but it doesn't have to be for you. As always, enjoy the Voice of Reason with our daily podcast by finding the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser on any of your favorite podcasting sites. Just find us, subscribe, have it automatically downloaded, and listen at your convenience whenever you want to bring some more reason into your day. And a lot of people are doing it. Also, you can always find the video of the show, along with articles, additional commentary, and maybe a few sarcastic remarks by following us on our social media. Stay up to date with everything going on with the show, including upcoming guests, breaking news stories, interesting articles, and maybe some memes. Help us in the ongoing battle with censorship and shadow banning from social media by following us on the social media at Hooser Reason on all of our social media sites. For all these social media links, podcast links, contact information, or just general information of the show, go to our website at HooserReason.com. There you can listen live every day, read our latest monthly blog, find our radio affiliate list, or even listen to our latest infomercials and special content. Plus, you can always reach out to the program by sending me a message on social media, emailing us at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com, or sending an email through our website at HooserReason.com. Whether it's content on the show, whether it's a guest that you've liked or disliked, or whether you want to disagree with me, and disagreement's always appreciated. While you're there, make sure to sign up for our monthly newsletter. Each month, you'll get the latest update on the show, updates from the Hooser Media Network, and our latest blog discussing topical issues of the day. Finally, if you want to help support the show, become a member of our Patreon site and help us fight for the cause of truth, reason, and common sense every day, and get more of the same by becoming the ultimate Hoosierholic. Get additional interviews that sometimes we don't always get to air on the radio. Hear our special segments or even our infomercials before anyone else, and have a chance to chat with other great Hoosierholics from all over. By becoming a Patreon subscriber, you're not only helping the fight for conservative values, you're helping us get more content and information out through the Hooser Media Network. Find out more information online at HooserReason.com. Lastly, follow and support all of our partners with the show. The Voice of Reason has been growing more and more every year, and it's because of so many great partners helping us get the message out to you. From show partners to local radio affiliates in your area to streaming sites, podcasting sites, and more, we have so many supporters and listeners now than ever before, and we want to thank you. It's time to bring back common sense, and we do it right here every day with the Voice of Reason.
America's safe space for common sense. This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
My message to Jewish Australians is that we stand with you as a nation. We embrace you at what is a terrible time. These anti-Semitic terrorist attacks will not be successful with their objective, which is to divide us as a nation. We will continue to come together as a nation and to embrace each other.
Yeah, all right. So that's the Prime Minister of Australia after the shooting that happened over the weekend and the shooting against the Jewish individuals on Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia during their Hanukkah celebration, saying that we will not be divided unless you're, of course, a right-wing extremist, which is what he had said earlier in that speech as well, saying that anti-Semitism and right-wing extremism
threats, be it anti-Semitism, the rise of right-wing extremist groups as well.
I didn't know right-wing extremism was leading to Islamic radicals wanting to kill Jews. That's kind of weird. But again, if you understand, they're on the southern portion of the equator. They're in the southern hemisphere, which means it's opposite day. You know, the water in the toilet spins the opposite direction down there. So right means left and left means right there, right? That's that's what we're going for. Michael, what do you think about that? Right-wing extremism is leading to the anti-Semitism down in Australia, around the world. I think it's opposite day in Australia.
Yeah, I think so. It seems ridiculous. I don't even know what to say to that.
I know, right? It's a whole nother place. It is unfortunate. As we look at the hate, we try to tie this all together between the shooting in Australia, the ongoing war with Russia and Ukraine, the conflict that we're seeing in the Middle East. We had just seen the ISIS terrorists that ended up shooting some U.S. soldiers, with 3 Americans dead now in Syria with that issue. Overall, I know there's always going to be war, unfortunately. You know, mankind, we've always done this. But in general, compared to decades before with worldwide conflicts, with genocides that are going on, do you think overall that we're getting a little bit better as humanity of not wanting to kill each other all the time?
No, it depends on where you're talking about. I think generally speaking, it's true. I think, with the advent of communication, people are hearing stories about countries that are doing it right, and I think that our current administration is doing everything it can to stop the war in Ukraine, and I continue to pray that the Lord intervenes in that situation, and that the war would end.
Yeah.
And so, I think it's improving. I think so.
That's good news. That is good news. Let's talk about real quick for the last couple of minutes that we have your Heat and Hope campaign, working with individuals that may not have it. And during the winter season, during the winter weather out there in this conflict, again, the Russians really attacking a lot of power places and a lot of apartment complexes, and people are living in some not so good conditions. What can individuals do to help you guys try and get resources out to these individuals during this war? What can we do on this end?
Well, you can come to our website. It's sga.org. That's sga.org, and hit /Heat and Hope. And so for us, because we were established in 1934. We've been working in those countries for many, many years, and we have relationships in Ukraine. We have warehouses and supply chain capabilities to get resources out to anywhere in that country. And so the biggest need now is, knowing that winter is coming. Winter is long and harsh.
Yeah. And
with the Russians blowing up the power supplies and the heating installations, they're going to have a really rough winter. So for us, what we're trying to do is raise funds to purchase generators that we can send to the churches, and the churches can, heat their building up so that people that are suffering can come to the churches. We call them centers of heat and hope, and they can come, get something to eat, get some food, get some, humanitarian aid if needed, medicines, and, spend a few days there until it gets warm, I guess. But, it's a place where people can come to not only be fed physically but spiritually as well. And as a result of that, we're seeing a lot of people come to faith in Christ as a result of these acts of mercy in those countries.
Yeah, we need more humanitarian. Yeah, we need more humanitarian acts like that, and it's amazing. So thank you guys for what you're doing. Again, sga.org, and you can find the information. You can donate, you can contribute, you can help out with individuals during this crazy humanitarian crisis that we're seeing right now. The Slavic Gospel Association, make sure and go and check it out, sga.org. Michael, we appreciate the time very much, my friend. Thank you guys for what you're doing. Merry Christmas to you. Happy New Year. Got to get you back on for another update soon, my friend.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Hey, appreciate it very much. Again, Michael Johnson, the Slavic Gospel Association. Go and check out all their information during this holiday season. What a wild time indeed. All right, when we come back tomorrow, we're going to break it down, some more of the agenda for the next generation. Donald Trump teasing about certain plans that are frowned upon in society overall. What's the future of the next generation in politics look like? We'll do that. Until then, we'll see you back on the radio tomorrow. Bye. Hey, it's Andy Hooser. You know, when I get off the air every day, the battle for me against limited government, censorship, and even unfactual content is far from over. That's why now I'm so happy to say that the Hooser Media Network is giving you more opportunity to catch the voice of reason along with other great shows and podcasts. It's been a long time in the works, and now you can finally enjoy more great content, services, and topical shows. We're the safe space for alternative talk, information, and ideas that the mainstream media absolutely hates. From holistic and alternative medicine, discussions on religion and spirituality, pure entertainment shows, and of course yours truly with the voice of reason. Plus, we offer numerous media services, including helping you set up your own podcast. Become your own voice of reason and bring your expertise to any fun issue or topic. For information on all of our shows, links to podcasts, each show website or social media link, or to find out about everything we do to challenge the mainstream establishment, visit our website at HooserMedia.com. Again, that's HooserMedia.com, the future of media.